Okay, Itamex good morning. It is just about 10 o'clock in the AM on Wednesday, January 9th, 2019, coming into the lunar cycle Katoi, when people need assistance to survive the winter starvation. And holidays are over. No more ho-ho-hos. No more Happy New Year's. And I'm trying to get some semblance of renewed and new routine and order back into my life. Last couple of days, both Mahoney and I have gone back to work. As far as things on that front go, I'm not going to mention much about it in this video, only to say that I'm still out of the house. I'm staying with Chelsea. The separation, the divorce is likely the outcome of this, and right now just kind of trying to get back into life while at the same time negotiating the terms of what my relationship with Mahoney is going to be for the future. Hopefully we'll be on good terms and be able to help us, each other through this process. But right now, as you can imagine, things are pretty high emotional, and my last video didn't help that any. So I think I'll leave it right there, and get to some other topic, which is the skunk that's living under this school here, Lethbridge Christian School. Yesterday, I stopped by, and they had been smelling a skunk again. I tried to trap here maybe a month or two ago, a skunk that they were smelling under kind of a portable portion of the school. And I wasn't able to catch the skunk. I left the trap for a couple of weeks. Weren't sure if it was still in there or not. Most of the small mammals like that, the skunks and the raccoons right now, are in torpor. I haven't been getting many calls, so they're not active enough that people are noticing them. The places that I do have traps set up, there's really been no action. I got one skunk last week at a residence, took that one away, but that was the first one I'd had in a few weeks, and I don't know if I'll expect any more this month. I mean, they're slowed down right now, but we are having unseasonably warm weather, so it's interesting to kind of observe the behavior of the wildlife, that these categories that we have for them for their winter behavior, whether it's hibernation or brumation or torpor or whatever, they don't exactly fit what the animal's behavior pattern actually is. Like for these small mammals going into torpor, I would typically tell people, based on my understanding of literature, or at least kind of the common understanding, is that they slow down in the coldest periods. In the coldest periods of winter, they slow down. Their bodies slow down. They'll sleep a bit. They're not really in a hibernation, but when it warms up, they'll become active again. But we've had a very mild winter. Today, I feel comfortable out in bare feet and really not with any winter jacket or anything. And we're in the beginning of January. Typically, right now we'll be at 20, 30 below zero. So very unseasonable weather. But the animals, the small mammals at least, are still going through their same sleep period as they would during this time if it was very cold. which is interesting. You know, I would think they would be active since it's so warm, but not the case. So I think what I'm going to be doing this morning here at the school is we're going to take a panel off that allows me under the crawl space, and I'm going to climb in and see if there's a skunk in there. And if there is one, I'm either going to chase it out, or I'm going to take the catch pole with me, and if I can catch it with the catch pole, I will. But I don't have much confidence in that. My ability to move around in a crawl space is very limited compared to a skunk's, and I think that that animal will book it out of there. Hopefully I don't get sprayed in the process. We'll see. And then after I'm done with this job, I want to talk about an incident that occurred here in Lethbridge that was videotaped and showed up on the news last night regarding Lethbridge Police handling of a situation with an injured deer. But we'll get to that. Right now, let's see whether or not there's a skunk under this building and what happens when I get to it. So just checking out the scene here. My trap is closed. Not sure why. None of the newspaper that I put in here in the entryway has moved. So skunk didn't move in or out last night. Don't know why this little bowl ended up here. That's pretty odd. But the school maintenance is on the way. He's going to take one of these panels off for me. I'm going to climb under there and see if there's a skunk.
That's for the skunk. You set it up trap for the skunk. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna climb under there and see if there's a skunk.
There is.
Yeah, you guys smell it?
No. How many guys? We always smell it right home.
Just under the building now. Taking a look around. Not seeing any skunk. I'll make sure and move around here a bit, just to be sure. No, I'm looking. I can see right to the bottom. I don't see it in there. It's not that deep. It's about 8 inches deep. Hello. Students identified a secondary site here that actually looks more promising for a skunk. Shall climb in and see. Alright, looks like there's maybe nest material over here. I think this is the most likely area to come across it. I'm gonna move over that way. Pretty tight space. Nesting area, but they just pulled insulation out of the wall down into here to lay in. But not currently occupying the space. Doesn't look like. Any other nests? No, I gotta move around a little more. Deeper in, found some shit. There's lots of plastic bags, chip bags, stuff like that throughout. So I think, you know, they find that stuff around the schoolyard, they pull it in. Pretty much to the other side of the building here though, and not seeing any skunks. I think they would have been in that nest, but it doesn't look like there's any occupants. It's almost a crime to be sitting inside today. We got like t-shirt weather going on here in Lethbridge. I don't know what the actual temperature is here. I'll look it up really quick, but -6 degrees. Maybe it's just t-shirt weather for me, I don't know, but I feel really comfortable. Doesn't feel like -6, that's for sure. T-shirt and bare feet. Anyway, I couldn't find any skunks under the school this morning. I don't think they're there. I had a really good thorough search, and so what I advised was that they shore up those walls and those fill in any holes, and of course at some point really skunk proof it, which is going to mean kind of burying a chicken wire, you know, maybe 8-10 inches below the ground surface and connecting it up with the buildings itself. So, and of course, you know, if they notice that something is dug under again, call me right away so that I can get in there and see if he's there. So yeah, no skunk. The other issue that I thought I wanted to talk about today was some news that kind of hit the mainstream or hit the local stream yesterday night, and I was getting flagged on a lot of it and asked my opinion. I guess what happened was one of the Lethbridge Police officers was dispatched to deal with an injured deer. Looked like a fawn mule deer, like not a young fawn, but a fawn that's in the midst of its first winter, and it had been probably bumped on the hind end. Maybe its spinal cord split. It looked like it was paralyzed, you know, from the waist down. Couldn't move the lower half of its body to get out the way. And the police officer, who no doubt had a sidearm and could have put it out of its misery and took care of it, decided that the way he was gonna kill the deer was to run it over. And it ended up that just running it over didn't work. You know, he ran it over again a second time, and it just made the fawn scream and cry in agony and stuff. He ran it over again, and then after this, he pulled the truck forward and actually parked right on top of the fawn and waited for it to die. So a bunch of people were tagging me on that post, asking me my opinions about it, and I figured I better make some kind of comment. But, you know, basically my thought is that I'm sure in his mind that police officer had the idea that if he ran it over there, it would be quick, it would be done, it would be dispatched, you know. I'm sure he didn't think, oh, I'm gonna have to run this animal over multiple times in order to kill it. Anybody who's hunted any fair bit is going to be familiar with a situation where you try to kill an animal and you're inaccurate, or by for whatever reason it doesn't die easy. And sometimes it takes a lot to kill an animal, and it's not enjoyable at all. And I'm sure that police officer wasn't reveling in the experience. It could have been something like, I heard an idea that maybe he was avoiding having to do the kind of paperwork that would be required if he had to discharge his firearm to kill it. Certainly a possibility. I don't know. That's just conjecture, because the police are not commenting, and they're not going to comment until an alert. I think it's called. Is it alert? Might not be alert. Leave. I don't know. There's an investigation, and kind of an internal investigation group within the police in Alberta, and they're going to look at it must be response team, so it must be alert. Hey, I don't know, but they're gonna look at what happened and make some decision. There's a petition out to fire the police officer. I think that's a little bit rash, without really knowing what went on. I mean, we have video showing the vehicle, the police vehicle, running over the deer multiple times, and then stopping on it and killing it and all of that. And then once it was dead, the deer was just moved off the side of the road, and the officer went on. So people are calling for his dismissal because of animal cruelty, and I do agree that what he did was seriously animal cruelty. But sometimes that kind of thing happens without intentionality. And if it's animal cruelty with intentionality, then yeah, I agree. Then that guy deserves not to be somebody who's trusted in an office where he's dealing with the public and all kinds of decision making, where people are relying on him to be the cool head, to be the I don't know. I mean, we hold our police to high standards, and there's good reason. I posted a video just the other day suggesting that nobody should be in a police force unless they're properly trained in jiu-jitsu, because of the way that we have so many occurrences of police using unwarranted levels of violence in subduing people who they're dealing with. So we hold police to high standards, and that's good. We should. They should be superheroes, really. But they're also human, and we can't forget that. And they're not talking because they can't talk right now. They got to go through the investigation. But I would be surprised to learn that this officer had any sense that he was going to have to repeatedly run over this deer. Hey, I'm pretty sure he thought that this would be a fairly swift end to the animal. It wasn't. That part itself is a tragedy. Nobody likes to see an animal suffer. It's bad news. Nobody likes to see a person suffer, suffering in general. But if it wasn't done with any intentionality, then we need to step back and say, okay, there was a mistake made. Why did a mistake happen? Maybe there needs to be a protocol put in place so that police that are dealing with roadkill deer in Lethbridge from now on absolutely are going to shoot it and in the head and finish it now, you know, or call for Fish and Wildlife to do something about it, to euthanize the animal. So those are my thoughts, and this is me trying to get back at it, trying to have a sense of normality at least part of this week.